यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी यमुनतीरवनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome you all for ISKCON Seshadripuram daily Bhagavatam class, and we will go to today's topic. Fourth canto, ninth chapter. Dhruva Maharaj returns home. Fourth canto, ninth chapter, Dhruva Maharaj returns home. And sloka number 13, 4.9.13. A wonderful verse. So let us proceed. Tiryanagdvija sarishpa devaдаitya मर्त्यादिभिः परिचितं सदसत् विशेषं रूपं स्तविस्तं अजते महदादि अनेकं नाता परमवेद्मि न यत्र वादः तिर्यान्नगद्विजा सरीसृपदेवदैत्या मर्त्यादिभिः परिचितं सदसद्विशेषं रूपं स्तविस्तं अजते महदादि अनेकं नाथ परं वेद्मि न यत्र वादः तिर्यान्नगद्विजा सरीसृप देवदैत्या मर्त्यादिभिः परिचितं सदसद्विशेषं रूपं स्तविस्तं अजते महदादि अनेकं नाथ परमवेदेमि न यत्र वादः. So this is very wonderful verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Word to word meaning you will see. Tiryak by animals, Naga trees, Dvija birds, Sarisrupa reptiles, Deva demigods, Daitya demons, Martya Adibihi by men, etc. Parichitam pervaded, Sat Asat Vishesham with varieties manifest and unmanifest, Rupam form, Stavistam gross universal, Aja, O unborn, Te, your, Mahat Adi, caused by the total material energy, etc. Anekam, various causes, Na, not, Ataha, from this, Param, transcendental, Parama, O supreme, Ved me, I know, Na, not, Yatra, where, Vadaha, various arguments. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear Lord, O Supreme Unborn, I know that the different varieties of living entities such as animals, trees, birds, reptiles, demigods, and human beings are spread throughout the universe, which is caused by the total material energy. And I know that they are sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest. But I have never experienced the supreme form I behold as I see you now. Now, all kinds of methods of theorizing have come to an end. But in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that He has spread Himself throughout the universe, but although everything is resting upon Him, He is aloof. The same concept is expressed here by Dhruva Maharaja. He states that before seeing the transcendental form of the Lord, he had experienced only the varieties of material forms which are counted at 8 lakh, 84 lakh species of aquatic birds, beasts, etc. The fact is that unless one engages in the devotional service of the Lord, it is impossible to understand the ultimate form of the Lord. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Factual understanding of the absolute truth, who is the supreme person, cannot be obtained by any process other than devotional service. Dhruva Maharaja here compares his previous state of understanding with the perfection of understanding in the presence of the Supreme Lord. The position of a living entity is to render service unless he comes to the stage of appreciating the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He engages in the service of the various forms of trees, reptiles, animals, men, demigods, etc. One can experience that one man engages in the service of a dog, another serves plants and creepers, another the demigods, and another humanity or his boss in the office, but no one is engaged in the service of Krishna. Aside from common men, even men who are elevated in terms of spiritual understanding or at the utmost engaged in the service of the Virat Rupa are unable to understand the ultimate form of the Lord. They worship voidism by meditation. Dhruva Maharaj, however, had been blessed by the Supreme Lord. When the Lord touched his conscience to Dhruva's forehead, real knowledge was revealed from within. And Dhruva could understand the Lord's transcendental form. Dhruva Maharaj here admits what not only was he ignorant, but by years he was only a child. He was only a child. It would not have been possible for an ignorant child to appreciate the supreme form of the Lord had he not been blessed by the Lord, who had touched his conscience to Dhruva's forehead. Here the perfect ends. Om Jnana-Timradesya Jnanandjana-Salakaya Chashkurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Svapadantikam Andeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Devi Anamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschasya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna devotees, thank you for joining ISKCON Seshadripuram morning Bhagavatam class. And before getting into today's 13th verse, 9th chapter, 4th canto, we will see a little connectivity, the recap where at present we are in. As we all know, the 9th chapter deals with Dhruva Maharaj returns and a little detail about that. So first we will see the chapter detail and then we will move to the verse related detail and then we will get into the verse. So Dhruva Maharaj returns home. As we all know, Dhruva Maharaj was aspiring to have a kingdom, bigger than his father. Lord appeared during that, penance of Dhruva Maharaj. Lord appeared, Dhruva's prayers. Lord offered benedictions. Dhruva regretted for having material desires and returned to home. So we are in the return to home stage of understanding. Lord appears and empowers Dhruva to speak also. He is a very small child. And the Lord, without empowerment of the Lord, nobody can preach or nobody can realize God. And then Dhruva Maharaj prayers. So Dhruva Maharaj did prayers up to 17th sloka, 6th sloka to 17th sloka. So this is also prayer from Dhruva Maharaj. We are in the 13th sloka. So little background to connect to this verse. Dhruva to Supreme Lord. So Dhruva prays to Supreme Lord. How does the Lord reciprocate with the 4 kinds of Sukritinas? So he has got so much of, we without Sukriti, nobody can get any benediction from the Lord. But still, what is Sukriti? The Sukriti means the one who is fortunate or the one who is qualified to be a mercy. So mercy means without any qualification we are getting mercy. For that we need that qualification that is called Sukriti. But still, while living in this world, administrations like relatives, wealth, house, how will you develop detachment? We are aspiring for everything, but how can we develop a detachment? Some solution is there for the detachment. What is that solution? Association of devotees. Any person who is attached to pure devotee automatically develops detachment from things of this world. So we all know before appearing the Lord who associated with Dhruva Maharaj, that is none other than Narada Muni. So when Narada Muni associated with this Dhruva Maharaj, then automatically he got Sarvasiddhi. Swalpamapya Dharmasya Dayato Mathodvaya. So he got, the biggest Sukriti or mercy is association of Narada Muni. Then Narada Muni enlightened completely his purpose of this entire lifetime. Then finally this verse deals about. Now we will get into the verse. If he knew that devotee do not care for material things, why did you worship me for material position? That's a question, yes. He was worshipping, the Lord for biggest kingdom. That is a material desire. That is because I previously knew only about your material energy, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. People understanding the level of, some performing, some dharma. So for better understanding of dharma, at least it is good. See, for dharma is for human being. For animals, there is no dharma. So we say animal plus dharma is equal to human. So to come to that human stage, Prabhupada recommends no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit relation, and no intoxication. It is mentioned in the Shastra. Then to come to the stage of what? Pure devotee or unalloyed devotee. Then the one who should hear, according to Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, right? So here the most confidential knowledge teaching us initially what is the qualification is the one who is not envious, the one who is not envious of the Lord. So that is the first qualification. The one who is envious of Lord, they cannot get into this devotional service or they cannot progress in this transcendental path. And then, okay, I'm not envious, then what I should do? One should hear. Right? Hearing is very, very important. From whom we should hear? From a pure devotee, one should hear. By hearing, what will happen? The purificatory process starts. And then one automatically get into the devotional service. Then through this devotional service, one we will get into this transcendental position or eternal position. That is, I am not the body, I am the spirit soul. So it is not that easy. Theoretically, we can discuss so many philosophical things, but practicing devotees can tell their fallen position. How in the Kali Yuga we all stuck into this. Even dharma, artha, kama, moksha also. So we do some job and then we get some artha, right, salary, and then we fulfill desires like kama materially. Let me buy Benz car, right? Let me buy some Volvo car, Bangalore. The recent incidents, many people may be aware of it, right? The entire the family who are in. I'm not pessimistically telling, but the point is this place is temporary. One should understand. This place is temporary and this place is full of miseries. Otherwise, we have to get into this Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, or we will not culminate with the position of devotional service. So that is an important point here. Now, Prabhupada gives that reference from Bhagavad Gita. So let us look into this purpose. So here, this is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 18.54. What is this? This is also confirmed. The fact is that unless one engages in the devotional service of the Lord, it is impossible to understand the ultimate form of the Lord. The Lord appeared in front of the Dhruva Maharaj. Now, Prabhupada brings out in Bhagavad Gita 18.5, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. The factual understanding of the absolute truth, who is the supreme person, cannot be obtained by any process other than devotional service. So just now we had a brief discussion about the importance of devotional service. Otherwise, we will, caught up with Dharmartha Kama Moksha cycle or Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam cycle. So how to come out of this? So here Prabhupada gives, the meaning through 18.55. So let us have a little discussion on 18.55 Bhagavad Gita. So here it is, Krishna proclaims pure Bhakti Yoga is the only way to understand Krishna and enter his abode. It is the essence in one line. So pure Bhakti Yoga is the only way. So what is this Bhakti Yoga? One should understand that, through the chanting process, through, with Shastric evidence, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told in Kali Yuga, no other way, no other way, no other way. We should follow the Kali Shantanu Upanishad, no other alternate. So by doing that, one can come to the stage of, devotional service. Ramanujacharya says, ஆன்மீகத்தில் கரை கண்டவர் எவரும் இல்லை. In a devotional service, nobody can claim that I have arrived. Everybody in the process of journey. That one should have that, first humility to get into this devotional path. Otherwise, it is, it's not that easy also. It is not that cheap also. Available whatever in the Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, everything is available so cheap. All the anarthas we can, get into within no time in Kali Yuga. So we'll get into this verse, Bhagavad Gita 18.55, to understand how the supremacy of this devotional service to realize the Lord. Many devotees ask, Prabhupada, have you seen God? Many people ask, have you seen God? Then Prabhupada replied, do you have those eyes to see the Lord or to realize the Lord? That is the point here we are coming to understand, the devotional service. Now, eligibility to understand absolute truth. So that is what we all sitting here and trying to qualify to understand eligibility of knowing the absolute truth. Now, Dhruva's position is even ahead of us, and he is seeing personally to the Lord. Now, how he got that realization? Lord pervaded everywhere. His energy is pervaded everywhere. This universe created by him. Do we have that knowledge of this universal form? The universal form, Lord created, or appointed Brahma into that job, and then he expanded as a three Vishnu. We know that, and he created millions and millions of universes through Vishnu, Mahavishnu, or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, then Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So through this process, he created from his navel this 14 planetary system within one universe, and then he created so many jivas. Then to get into that Paramatma form, he get into this each jiva and giving this knowledge what we are discussing now. That is a little brief introduction, to this universal, the creation. And here it is mentioned that only way to know Krishna. So what is this only way to? Only way to know Krishna is pure devotional service. Only through pure devotional service one can understand Krishna. And under the guidance of a pure devotee. Like how fortunate, this is a perfect example we can understand how Prabhupada educated this entire world. Like Dhruv Maharaj also got that, how we all are relishing today. Same way, we have got, that relish, that mood, through Prabhupada to us. But here the context is Narada Muni with Dhruv Maharaj. Now, without devotional service, absolute truth is always hidden. Absolute truth nobody can understand. Even another reference Prabhupada gives here, 7th chapter, 25th sloka. So 7th chapter, 25th sloka. So here it is mentioned that Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. So Bhagavad Gita 7.25. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. He is not revealed to everyone. It's not that openly available. No one can understand God simply by erudite scholarship or material speculation. Nobody can claim that, oh, I have done PhD, I am a researcher, or I am techie software. I did so many things in biotechnology. I have done so much of research. Not like that. Only one who is actually engaged in God's consciousness and devotional service can understand what God is. University degrees are not helpful. But here there is no. Why we know our Guru Parampara system, who is a Guru of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Right? He is an illiterate. Right? That means our scholarly, so-called scholarly position. So that is the big, understanding. One should come that this all the degrees will not serve the purpose of, or the material. Even Dhuru Maharaj is concerned. He is the son of a king, big king, but that will not serve the purpose here. But are we a devotee? Are we blessed by, pure devotees? Are we gaining, this? So that is the point here. And further understanding with this, and eligibility to enter into Lord's abode. Now, next question arises in this, verse, Bhagavad Gita 18.55. What is the eligibility to enter Lord's abode? Here it is mentioned, one who is fully conversant with the science of Krishna. What is the science of Krishna? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva gatiranyata. How to come to this stage? One should get into this Guru Sadhu Shastra, not in a speculative way. One should get into these three processes, these three things aligned, then that person could get into this process. And then here, Prabhupada views, as usual, there is a reputation of, Mayavada philosophy. There are so many Mayavadis. They also give, so much of bhashya to, to confuse or, to reduce our confidence, or to take people in a wrong path or incomplete path, we can say. So there are 4 points we will discuss under reputation to Mayavadis. Becoming Brahman does not mean losing the identity. Becoming Brahman will not, lose the identity. The first out of 4, the first point says, devotional service means God, devotee, the process of devotional service. One should understand God, one should have the association of devotee, the process of devotional service. Such knowledge, second one, such knowledge is never vanquished even after liberation. So such knowledge will not get vanished even after liberation. Same distinction is maintained. We are different and Lord is different. That is what our Parampara system says. Chinta Beda Beda Tattva. Analogy. Green bird enters a green tree. We say green. So there is a green tree. Green bird enters not to become one with the tree. Still the tree is different and the green color bird is different. And the Mayavadi says here, river flowing into the ocean, and the river water mixed with the ocean. Then it is merged like that. Our philosophy says, but personalist keep his personal individuality like an aquatic in the ocean. Aquatic. So there are so many jivas are there in the ocean. Still it is there in the ocean. It is different from the ocean. So that is what the real understanding of the Mayavada philosophy versus Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And then here it is mentioned, liberation involves getting free from material concept of life. Yes, liberation definitely gives, free from material conception of life, but it is very important. But the individuality continues. This is the only difference a true Vaishnava can attain or can get into this process. I'm repeating, what is the difference, with a stage of devotional service and then liberated stage. Liberated stage is recommended, but it is not that easy to go to that level also. Here it is mentioned very clearly the difference that, that barrier is being, revealed here. So many devotees have the doubt, what is meant by liberation. Only this, dharma, kama, moksha, that moksha is the ultimate, position like that. But here the clarity, what Prabhupada gives, from this verse, here it is there mentioned that don't stay there only, but individuality continues. So what is our individuality? What is our Subhava? Dasa anu dasa. Servant of the servant of the servant. Even Ramanujacharya says, Adiyenukku Adiyen. Right? So that is the point here. Do we come even in the Sri Sampradaya? This famous example is there. Here there is a alvar. Like there are 12 alvars. So in that, one alvar, he never. I'll take 1 minute pause. Traditional devotees. Sorry for the little interruption. Now we'll continue. So that is the barrier or the devotees. That is the speciality of a Vaishnavism or a Vaishnava. So we were discussing about that mood, Dasano, Dasa. So in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, there is a one of the Alvar whose name is Madhura Kavi. That means the sweetest poet. He sang only about his Guru. He has not glorified anything about the Lord, but that is the easiest way to please the Lord. So Lord likes, see in a family there is a pampered child, we will say in a family there are 5 children or 4 children. The last one is the always pampered one. Why? Because the surrender is more. Or even a little things, this boy or girl, this son or a daughter will run to parents, to seeking for the help. So here the perfect understanding is, yes, we can realize only through Guru. So we can realize only through Sadhu. Guru Sadhu Shastra. So that means here Guru Maharaj also continuing the same process. Then the Lord was so pleased, then Lord appeared and then started giving the association now. And then this analogy I have told, so we are different and Prabhupada is very particular. No compromise in that. So the green tree, green bird enters, but still the tree is different. The green color bird is different. But Mayavadi says the river flows into the ocean and the water merge into the ocean. Both are same like that. No, it is not like that. So Prabhupada very clear. The aquatics in the the aquatics in the ocean. So that is different from the ocean. Understand in that way. This Mayavada philosophy should be avoided, and one should move above the stage of liberation. So that is the point here. And further, 2 more points are there. And how one's devotional service begins after achieving Brahma Bhuta stage. So there is a stage of Brahma Bhuta. So how to devotional service begins? Only by hearing from the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita is a song of the Lord. So if we follow Prabhupada says one word from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, our life is perfect. But the following is not that easy. For that, we need Bahunam Janmanamante, Jnanavan Mam Prabhadyante, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So can we qualified, Jiva like that Sudurlabha, devotee? So it's $1 million question. Right? Even beyond, in Kali Yuga, it's very, unfortunate. Kali Shudra Sambhava. Because this manifestation itself like that. Because Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and then Satoguna. So how long we can retain our mood into Shuddha Sattva, even beyond that, or how long we can retain in a Sattva Guna, that it's even Sattva also it's a jail only. Even in Sattva Guna also there is a danger, I know everything, this, that. So the perfect understanding is by hearing from the Lord, one can begin, after a Brahma Bhuta stage. I have come to understand that Brahman realization, what is, this thing. But what we are hearing, through this process, Brahma Bhuta stage develops. Yes, okay. Then material contamination decreases. When once one reaches to Brahma Bhuta stage, then what is the benefit of that? This material contamination decreases. Then one can understand the Supreme Lord. Okay. I understood the Supreme Lord. Then what is the next stage? You understood Lord. Then you get into the process of devotional service. Devotional service, when it continues after the liberation, one should understand the levels. Liberation. One is this merging into impersonal Brahman stage, then get into liberated stage, and then get into devotional service. Continuing the devotional service. It is not that easy. So easily we are culminating, or we are theoretically discussing this. Are we arrived to that stage? It is another big question mark. Again, Prabhupada says here from the quoted reference, the Vedanta Sutra 4.1.12 confirm this. Prayanat tatrapi hi drishtam. This means that after liberation, the process of devotional service continues. So that is a message from Vedanta Sutra. So after this liberation, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, then the devotional service. How you come to that stage of liberation? That is also not that easy. And claiming all this 14 planetary system, even it was difficult for Brahma without the mercy of the Lord. Brahma was moving around, from a lower planetary system to higher planetary system, to understand the absolute truth. Then Lord appeared and then started with Om Tat Sat, and he had given that mercy. How here Dhruva Maharaj, on the head of Dhruva Maharaj, Lord kept this conch. Because there it is mentioned, liberation, and then he comes to the stage of material attachment or the material benediction or material requirement to the spiritual requirement. And then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, real devotional liberation is defined as the reinstatement of the living entity in his own identity. So as we discussed earlier, own identity is dasanu dasa. His own constitutional position. One should come to that stage. Once if that person comes to the stage, then Lord will reveal everything to that position. Even they can understand the real constitutional position of the Lord and what is our position actually, like Hanuman. So there are different Navavida bhaktis there, but we the fallen soul, strongly catch hold of the mood of Hanuman. It is Dasanu Dasa or Adiyani Kadiyani. The constitutional question is already explained. Every living entity is part and parcel of fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord. How to understand this? There is a fire, there is a spark of a fire. So we all are spark of the fire. We all, minute particle of the whole. Therefore, his constitutional position is to serve. So our only job is to serve. No result oriented. Here the process itself success. Serve the Lord. Perfect. Under the guidance of spiritual master. After liberation, this service is never stopped. After the liberation also, this service never stopped. Actual liberation is getting free from misconception of life. Actual liberation means what? Misconception. What is that misconception? Believing that I am this body. This material manifestation is permanent. It is real. Yudhishthira Maharaj says, to Krishna, it is so surprised to see everybody going to die. Everybody is aware of it. But we all are forgetting that, position, and we all are thinking that, I am going to exist here like that, more greedy way of, executing things in the life. So that is the maximum, the culmination point, what I would like to relate in this sloka. So when the Lord appeared in front of, Dhruva Maharaj, then he moved from the liberation stage to devotional service stage. That is only with the mercy of pure devotee, Narada Muni, and Lord's mercy by touching the conch, not in the Virat room. See, we study 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. There are people wrongly they worship. What is this wrong worship? What is that? One is worshipping, this universal form, and another one is worshipping the Brahman and Brahman stage, and another one is indirect worship of demigod worship. Pratakvena, Ekatvena, Pratakvena, and Vishwatomukam. Ekatvena, Pratakvena, Vishwatomukam from 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. These are these are the stages actually one may come across. We were also doing so many austerities like Guru Thursday. Let us have fasting. For this particular process. Saturday let us have this kind of worship. Monday let us have. Tuesday let us have, like that. Every day we have different kind of austerities one come across to culminate to the point of taking up this devotional service. So otherwise it is very difficult. Indirectly we are going like this elephant, this blind people elephant, touching analogy we all know. All the blind people going and touching, or somebody touches the ear of the elephant, assuming this is something, and the tail, assuming that it is a rope, and holding the leg and assuming that it is a pillar, holding the abdomen of the elephant, saying that it is a wall like that. So wrong perception. That is Ekatvena, Prathakvena, and Vishwatomukam. Among that, Vishwatomukam is recommended. Like, not recommended for us, but for realization it is important. Here also Prabhupada, mentioned about Virata Rupa. Here Prabhupada mentioned, aside from common men, even men who are elevated in terms of spiritual understanding or at most engaged in the service of the Virat Rupa are unable to understand the ultimate form of the Lord. They worship voidism by meditation. There are so many other, as I mentioned, this one, Ekatvena, Prathakvena, and Vishwatomukam. So Ekatvena, this voidism, they say in Buddhism, they say when body dies, soul also dies. They believe in soul, but when body dies, soul also dies. Not in that misconception like Ekatvena, Prathakvena, and Vishwatomukam. So Ekatvena we know that is we are merging with the Lord or something that misconception, and then Vishwatomukam and then Prathakvena. Prathakvena means indirect path, searching through some other demigod, do this puja, do this that, go to this and do some parihara. And, but that originality never changes. Lord sanction, nobody can change it. But it is exceptional only for the devotees with this mercy to have a choice whether you want this liberated and devotion path or you want so attached material path. You choose. That also we will get without Prabhupada. In India, everybody knows Krishna. But can we imagine without Prabhupada this entire transcendental knowledge what we are so ocean of knowledge and ocean of mercy to every fallen soul in this this entire universe. There are 9 billion human population is there in the world, so it is the biggest boon among this society to get such a liberated soul, Srila Prabhupada. So it's a very amazing opportunity for all of us. We all are relishing so easily, just like that in the laptop we are opening and digital Zoom connection or whatever we are taking. But the culmination is how great this devotional service, how great the Guru, how great the Shastra, how great the Sadhu Sangha, the devotional service. Otherwise, we are also struggling, like Guru Maharaj, then we need a proper guidance, mother guided, God seek this material world. We are searching for what only we are doing. We don't know. We say, there is one example of this, dog's work. What dog will do, morning to evening, keep on, it will be running, one street to another street, and no time to stand. So we are also with material consumption. We all are, doing so many, materialistic activities. So with the mercy of Prabhupada, put a pause button and have this understanding of whatever we have been discussing, and then you get back and get into your reality. Then you will know what is the real benefit of coming out of this liberation and higher stage devotional service. Then slowly, after liberation, then detachment from the material conception of life. You follow Varnashram Dharma, you may be a Grahastha, you may be a sannyasi, you may be I'm not coming into that, conclusion that one should, get into, the sannyasa ashrama or, one should get into Grahastha ashrama. I'm not coming into that way. I'm trying to tell whichever the Varna or whichever the ashrama have the goal of, understanding this devotional service and get into this devotional service. Then we may also one day qualify like Dhruv Maharaj. That is a take-home message for the day. So here I'd like to stop for the today's details about this particular 4 point, 9 point, 13th verse. So here we will stop. If there are any doubts or any additives from devotees, welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can you please, I'm a little confused of the Brahma Bhuta stage. What does it mean Brahma Bhuta stage, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I'll read exactly, what Prabhupada had mentioned here. after attainment of Brahma Bhuta stage. Okay. Because of his pure devotional service, devotee can understand transcendental qualities and the opulence of the Supreme Lord in truth. As it is stated in the 11th chapter, only by devotional service can one understand. The same is confirmed here. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotional service and enter into his kingdom after attainment of the Brahma Bhuta stage. That means after entering into the that particular stage, what we have discussed, and of freedom from material conceptions. After attainment of the Brahma Bhuta stage of freedom from material conception. That means Brahma Bhuta stage means thinking that she's my wife. I don't know, maybe Prabhu, maybe a Grahastha. I'm taking this example. So thinking that she's my wife. No, don't think she's my wife. She's a servant of the Lord, or she's serving the Lord. She's a devotee. Let me serve her. That conception is Brahma Bhuta stage. So then, if I come to that stage of understanding, then if I start serving, I'm gifting, a nice saree to my wife, and that stage is called a devotional service. Without coming to that stage, one could not understand. Service begins by once hearing about the Lord. So let me see once again, Yes, this is what the details given in this verse about the Brahma Bhuta stage. Once again, I will read that for better understanding. I gave that that example. I hope you got some that levels after attainment of the Brahma Bhuta stage of freedom from material consumption. This is a one-line definition for your answer. Brahma Bhuta stage of freedom from material consumption. What is this material consumption? I am not. I am the body. Once theoretically, so not practically. Theoretically, I am thinking that I am the body. So theoretically, understanding I am not this body. I am the spirit soul. Is the Brahma Bhuta stage. Is it clear, Prabhu? Theoretical understanding.
Yeah.
I have not started following it yet.
Yeah.
So to connect to that, yes, theoretically I understood that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. Then through devotional service, I start practice like this, the example what I had given. So whenever I look at my wife, look at it that way. Whenever I look at my child, let me look at the devotees of the devotee children like that. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, you are about to.
No, very rightly said, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. The
Yes.
Brahma Bhuta stage is exactly is like, as I said, we are not his body, we are soul. We should not consider, and we should not have material attachments also. Is it right, Prabhu?
Yes, you are right.
One
Here,
line.
once again, I'm reading Brahma Bhuta stage of freedom. Right, so sorry, I got disconnected due to some technical difficulties. So, is it clear, Prabhu? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you for your understanding. So here we will stop. Is there anybody's, any additives or any more questions? Welcome. Otherwise, we will stop here. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can I ask one more question if you don't mind,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
welcome, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, this bodily conception, what we carry, like we say, no, we're not this body, but it is very difficult to digest that, Prabhuji, because we are always in the bodily consciousness. So how can one be serious enough to understand that we are not this body? How can I implement this? Please.
Okay, so It's a continuation of your previous question, I think. So theoretically, I understood it. You could not digest this. Assume that So I'm a diabetic. Your question I'm understanding or I'm comparing with this. So I'm a diabetic patient. How can I be without how can I be leading my life without sweet? I like gulab jamun or rasagulla, but it's very hard to digest. Doctors telling don't have it like that. Now we need at least the supplement. The supplement is having sugar free things, right? So that is the only go. If I'm not getting into this, advice, then we have to get ready to face the consequences. Then we may end up like Dhuru Maharaj position here, right? We may go for materialistic benediction. Then we may go to we may go to Indra, Chandra, and all, right? So if I could not digest that, then what is the effect also one should know. If I know that effect, then automatically I will run away and I will go and stand in a right position. So if there is a examination, assume that I'm a student. If there is an examination, next week, if I'm watching, World Cup match or 2020 match, I will be totally, caught up with this because I could not digest, this match is so important for me. I don't want to compromise that. Without compromise, I want to, fulfill the desire of watching World Cup match. Then one should have the right, mood to face it. Then whether you get a or not. Otherwise you have to write exam once again. I mean, 84 lakh species of life. I should get this. Either you want the higher taste or lower taste. No, I could not digest that. Yes, it is not that easy. But the analogy says initially it looks bitter. You go to any hospital. Do you think the medicine is very sweet in taste? No, not. Shastra is also giving, but at the end it gives cure. Same way, but the material world initially it gives the sweetness, but at the end it will give you the bitter. But which one we want to choose, that is left to us, and then automatically we will understand where we are and why can't we digest? Why can't we digest? That is the only thin line one should practice. It is not that easy. Nobody. That is what I told in the beginning. Nobody can claim that I have arrived. That is an important point here. But we can attempt, keep on. We fall like baby, baby falls and then climb, baby falls. And then, yes, the actual mood, practical mood, we could not digest. It is very true. But do we stay there only? Can we stay there only? Otherwise, the consequences are I have to repeat the exam like birth after birth. I have to take, this birth, then birth, 84 lakh species, birth. It's very difficult to digest. Yes, me too agree. And the Shastra also says it is not that easy. So that is what I quoted one reference here. Bhavanam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prabhadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So Lord only declares that such a digesting person, as per your question, such a digesting person is rarest of the rare. You got our position, Prabhu. Only through Guru, only through Sadhu Sangha, only through Shastra, we can try to digest. No other alternate, no other alternate, no other alternate in Kali Yuga. We have to try to digest. Hare Krishna. Did I
Hare Krishna,
understand?
Prabhuji. Thank
Did I
Yeah,
understand
yes,
your
Prabhuji.
question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Any other questions or any sharings or any corrections will come. Hare Krishna. Otherwise, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavadanda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the devotees for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Ram.